Welcome, everyone. Distinguished speakers, organizer, students in person, but also online, our guests, faculty members and friends who are joining us. We are very happy to have this symposium here organized by Dr. Alessandra Manzini from Cergy University Paris. It is a very happy occasion for us at Chiang Mai University to be hosting this event in an area that is of extremely high importance for global development, as we are, as you're doubtlessly aware, facing a burning planet, and that's something that we want to avoid. And the conference on the state of the art on heritage-sensitive conservation policies of sacred forests and spiritual landscapes in the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot and Southeast Asia's terrestrial ecoregion offers us an opportunity to advance the toolkit and the thinking on how we can realize more inclusive, more sustainable approaches to conservation that are cognizant of indigenous peoples, local communities, but also the diversity within them. So Chiang Mai University is a proud host, and this event then also links to an activity that that has been running here for the last year and a half, which is the BA Heritage Project, we call it, a research project funded by the British Academy in the United Kingdom, in which we try to advance heritage-sensitive policies for climate mitigation policy, with a specific focus on indigenous communities in Thailand, Chiang Mai specifically. This is very synergistic to Ajahn Alessandra's research in the Spiral project on sacred forests across the world, and which is something that she's tying into in this project as well. This collaboration is reflected in the title of our event today, in terms of heritage-sensitive policies. What does heritage-sensitive policy? What does it even mean? And it's something that that we have been embracing, in fact, in correspondence with Cergy Paris University over the last couple of years, and that has fed into the BA Heritage Project. It's the idea that heritage is a concrete expression of culture, something that's performed every day and something that creates attachments to community identity, to local environments, local ecosystems, and something that connects not only that connects us not only to the past but also to the future. Now, the notion of heritage is not new. The notion of heritage is very well established in conservation research as biocultural heritage. This idea that humans and ecosystems cannot really be detached from each other. It's something that scholars, at least in this field, at least the critical scholars, have been embracing for many years already, and something that has infused also the notions of cultural ecosystem services as well as indigenous and local knowledge systems. So that in itself is not new, but how we embrace it is a different question. And as critical development scholars, we start from the social realities and reach into conservation rather than the other way around. This means that we understand heritage as a process, as a democratic process of identifying what is valued by indigenous communities and what they want to preserve and carry on into the future that they envision. But then also subsequently the systems that it connects to, social systems, political systems, behavioral systems. And so an understanding of everyday environmental heritage, ordinary heritage to be performed that links us to ecosystems, is socially critical and activist, is a socially critical and activist research agenda. Therefore, heritage-sensitive conservation policy, and we'll come to a close here, considers this systemic aspect. It's conservation policy that embraces the notion that heritage is central to community life, and it might address and support this heritage directly by supporting communities in their cultural practices, or indirectly on the upstream or downstream, removing barriers, for example, to engaging in cultural practices and engaging with ecosystems. And that's something that we've been trialing in the BA Heritage Project. This is just a little short backdrop on the notion of heritage-sensitive policy that has been featuring in the title of this event. But we will hear from our speakers then concrete expressions of that in their presentations. But with that, again, let me just welcome you everyone to this event. And I hand over to our organizer and the intellectual mastermind behind this event, Dr. Alessandra Manzini from Cergy University.
Thank you, Marco. I'm going to share a screen now. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Yes, thank you, the University of Chiang for hosting this crucial discussion. We are here to address a transversal topic, one that touches landscape governance, land tenure rights, and the urgent paradigm shift required in the global conservation policy today. We are introducing 3 panels of speakers and that we hope will change the way we look at sustainability to embrace the plurality of war-making practices, such as the ones of the 12 case studies of small-scale societies that uphold entangled relationships with spiritual forest ecosystem that we are going to hear today. So welcome everybody and thank you again for your work. So I'm here to briefly introduce Spiral's objectives. Spiral, co-founded by the EU and the EUTOPIA SIF Alliance, gave me the chance to set up a study, explorative study of sacred forests worldwide, comparatively to document a variety of cosmologies at the global level. Also to explain the forest management practices, seeing and recognizing them as integral components of a broader network of sacred places, collectively defined as spiritual landscape, and to generate new paradigms for biocultural conservation based on a different way of knowing and living forest relationship. So we are here to create an action research network and a new socio-ecological alliances worldwide to exchange best practices and hopefully set new endeavor together. So here is a screenshot of what I found in the first days of my research. So I'm now focusing on 73 societies all around the world. And especially today, I've invited speakers from the Asian cluster to try to focus on the 24 societies that I found in Asia. Pardon. As we know, there are 36 recognized biodiversity hotspots worldwide. These ecosystems, the spiritual ecosystems, are mostly found where there is a great value to conserve. And this makes us think. So that's why I've chosen Indo-Burma and Southeast Asian terrestrial ecoregions as a key for understanding the value of the relational ontologies of these small-scale societies to conservation, to biocultural conservation. Crucial is also to see that these ecoregions overlap with another layer of critical knowledge, the one made by the Environmental Justice Atlas. So I had the chance to work with a group from Barcelona, founded by Martínez Talier, who gave me the access to the environment conflict worldwide. And what we can see from the map is that in the Indo-Burma region, we have a strong intensity of conflict. And so my third hypothesis in the Spira project is that sacred groves reinforce a resistance towards extroversion of and commodification of natural resources. And this resistance is also interlinked with resilience of socio-ecological systems. Hence, there are a set of challenges for a holistic, adaptive, heritage-sensitive research and policy design in ASEAN and ASEAN diasporic context and beyond. That are going to be identified in the symposium during the speech of the rich diversity of presenters. So we must head towards the discussion, and I've prepared a set of questions to guide our symposium. As we know, we must stress the importance of mutual recognition between modern science and indigenous and traditional knowledge systems. They are not opposite. They align perfectly in their core methodology, the deep sustained observation of the law of nature. Customary law, which restricts access to core breeding areas, regulate harvesting periods, govern the use of medical herbs, are based on daily multisensorial observation of the multi-species environment. And when spiritual authorities establish rules, taboos, or period of restriction, this decision reflects an ancient, sophisticated knowledge system that has conserved values till nowadays. So the customary role, law, and authority are precisely what have preserved the territories, conserved the biodiversity, enhanced ecological stability until now. So how can we develop more effective policy by moving beyond rigid definition of who is considered indigenous, and what are the main constraints faced by the indigenous people and local communities in maintaining their heritage practices on their ancestral land and in the process of self-determination? So these are, as I say, guiding questions. As we have observed that while conservation policies continue to evolve globally, the state of the art clearly show that EPLC worldwide face extreme and growing challenges to self-determination. Over the last few days, in conversation with representatives of ethnic local groups here in Thailand and with research activists of Chiang Mai University, several critical constraints emerged. We can group them into three main interconnected areas. So land and policy insecurity, especially for the enclosure of ancestral domains, such as the set-driven spatial planning that often in name of conservation legally enclose ancestral land and evict people living there. The bureaucratic struggle for recognition, which is an identity straitjacket, and the constraint of international law, often non-binding promise. The final overarching constraint is the difficulty of seeking justice when major international conventions, like the United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous Peoples and ILO 169, are non-binding at the national level, even if the convention was ratified. Therefore, several problems are interconnected to this. And it's precisely at national level where policy translate into land loss and criminalization that I invite all the diverse speakers gathered today to focus on the systematic constraints EPLC face in achieving recognition for their invaluable heritage practices, customary laws, and stewardship. So I'm going to introduce now our keynote speaker. It's really an honor to have you here, Professor Bhagwat. I've read all your books. I found you everywhere when I was searching for sacred forest. And To set the stage for our deep dive, it's a privilege to introduce you as keynote. So we welcome Professor Shoni Bhagwat, Professor of Environmental and Development at the Open University in UK. He's trained as a naturalist, ecologist, and forester, has conducted research on sacred forests globally for the last 30 years, spanning the cross-section between environment and society and engaging critically with issues like biodiversity conservation and food security. Professor Bhagat will offer a broad global historical and geographical perspective on sacred forests, presenting a framework to understand their development in space and time, and making a compelling case for their future recognition and sustainable management. Now we open the first floor. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Alessandra, for that kind introduction. And it's really nice to be here with you all.